And we are live. Welcome to the Absolute Awesome Show, April 2nd, episode 3. Josh and Cliff are here. How you guys doing?
Hey, hey.
Good. The day after April Fool's Day.
Day after April Fool's Day. Did you guys get any April Fool's pranks in on your coworkers or family or friends?
No, but I saw an amazing April Fool's joke from Ben Weasel. Did you guys see that?
I did not. What was it?
Oh, it was great. He did this whole long paragraph rambling about how he's so apologetic for the way he's acted towards Fat Mike and all of the Screeching Weasel fans and all the people that were jerks to him, and just like how he's always wanted to be part of the in crowd, and he just that's like really been his goal in life, and blah blah blah. Long story short, he went through this whole big thing, and then the very first comment underneath was from him again and said, "Happy April Fool's, mother effers." I laughed for a long time. I thought that was hilarious.
Right.
But the best part is because on Facebook, the first comment gets kind of hidden. Once he 5 minutes into it, he gets a million people commenting on it, and so his comment that it was April Fool's, you'd have to actually click on all the comments to see that and go all the way up to the top, and a lot of people don't see that, so they just think that it's for real, and you see all these other comments that are like, I had tears welling up in my eyes. This is so sweet. It's so good to see you coming around. And stuff. I thought it was like a great April Fool's joke.
I don't understand how people who are on the internet and are above the age of 12 don't just aren't immediately skeptical of everything they read on April 1st. Like how that just escapes them, especially with something like that. That just seems ridiculous to me. But
Did he ever comment again?
Oh yeah. I mean, he replied to other people and stuff, and it was he does his thing. He's very good with social media. I think he's a good dude. I like that guy.
Yep.
We're gonna lose half our punk fan base for me saying that, but
so that will be down to 4 fans instead of 8.
right.
Well,
Way to go, Josh. Way to
the
go.
only April Fool's thing I saw was a message board on an acoustic guitar site where somebody said, "Pictures of my new guitar with my naked wife." And then you click on it and April Fool's Day!
So obviously Cliff clicked on it, hoping that it was not a joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking
So
of
Josh,
fun,
did you go to Teenage Bottle Rocket the other night?
yeah,
How
Was
was
it
that?
so awesome?
it was amazing. I woke up that day. I was so bored. This is a Sunday. No, nothing to do. Kelly's in Texas.
No mixes to make, nothing.
I know. I could have worked in the I just didn't. I woke up with no desire to do anything other than
Right.
go somewhere. I wanted to go somewhere, but I had nowhere to go. And um, basically, Chris Rockville, who hopefully will join the program later, he texted me and he was like, "Why don't you make an impromptu trip out here and let's go to Teenage Bottle Rocket tonight?" I was like, "They're playing with Pennywise, dude. The tickets are probably $30." He's like, "Well, I got in from Miggy put me on the guest list or whatever." I'm like, "All right, well, tell him to put me on the guest list." He's like, "No, I don't want to ask him that." And I was like, "All right, I'll just go ahead and send Ray a message on Facebook." And I was just like, "Dude, I hate doing this, but I kind of want to come to your show tonight, even though it's like 3 hours away, and I have to work in the morning. I kind of want to come, but I don't have a ticket. I don't want to buy one. You want to hook me up?" And he was like, "Josh Blackway got it, and so I drove out there and got in for free, and it was worth it."
You actually said, "I want to go to the show, but I don't want to buy a ticket."
I
You
said I
actually
don't.
wrote him that?
I said I don't have a ticket.
Oh.
Yeah, I said I don't have a ticket. Can you hook me up?
Oh, that's much, much better. Good job.
No. Right. I don't want to pay Pennywise prices. I would pay Teenage Bottle Rocket prices.
$5.
Yeah, I would pay 15 to see them, but I wouldn't pay 30 to see anyone other than
See, seeing Teenage Bottle Rocket, I really like them. Their albums are really good and stuff. But going to see them live is kind of like going to see myself live, and so, it's like not a big deal to me.
Yeah, but that's because you like I was circle pitting, I was like having fun and like acting like a kid. I'm almost 35, and whatever. There's a lot of old people there actually. There was a guy with like full on gray hair standing right in front of me. And
Was he circle pitting too?
I don't know. I don't know. But it was a good time anyway. I mean, I got a little sick towards the end, and
Circle
we
pitting.
ended up being stuck there, and we couldn't find Chris's car, and then we made a stupid decision and bought 7-Eleven hot dogs afterwards at like midnight. And
Did you
I
buy
got
the
a couple hours sleep.
big gulp Slurpee?
Long story short, I threw up on myself on my way to work
Oh.
right after I came over the Bay Bridge, and so I texted my boss and said, "Not going to make it today." Hopefully she doesn't watch this because she doesn't know that full story. Wasn't going to go there, but I already did. Anyway, Mike, what's going on?
Yeah, while you were circle pitting as a 35-year-old man, I was watching WrestleMania as a 38-year-old man. So I don't really know which one's worse, a 35-year-old circle pit punk rock guy or a 38-year-old guy that watches WrestleMania and actually like cheers when things happen that I want to happen, even though they are scripted to happen.
Wait, you cried?
Cried? Who said cried? I said cheered.
You said I had tears.
No, cheered. Like,
you teared
rah,
up?
rah, yay, my guy is winning and the other guy is losing.
Oh.
It's like,
Like he stood up and ripped his shirt off, and
I stood up and I ripped my shirt off and did the Hulkamania pose. Absolutely.
Oh!
Mike, I'm sorry that you don't have more like wrestling fans on tonight. Maybe Brian Hardy will join later, but
he might join later. And hey, Chris, your boy that went to Teenage Bottle Rocket with you.
Rockville.
Well, Eller, Rockville, whatever. He's a wrestling fan. He'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's how I spent my Sunday evening. I watched 6 straight hours of wrestling.
6 hours?
Yeah, there was a 2-hour pre-show, which was basically like a lot of talking, but there was some matches in it, and then the show itself was 4 hours long. Yep.
And you enjoyed that?
I do, and I told my son that
I love wrestling. They're all your kids are big fans, right? Like,
well, mostly just my middle son, 8-year-old Phoenix, but we all go to the local matches. We have a good time doing those. But I told him in 2 years, if he's still really into wrestling, that I'll go ahead and we'll go to a WrestleMania because it's basically a vacation. It's so amazingly expensive. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. There you go. I was yesterday when that was happening, when you were at the show, I think Christy and I were watching Bloodline on Netflix, which is a very good show. I think it's called Bloodline. Yeah.
It's really super good, and I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, but it is. It's a good show.
Is it a Netflix original show?
It is a Netflix original. All the Netflix original shows are super good.
I'm going to guarantee that there is a Netflix show that's on right now that you do not watch and that you would hate.
Probably. Oh, what? The Orange is the New Black crap? Yeah, I don't watch that.
Nope.
If it's anything, I won't like it. What?
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
You would hate that. That's pretty funny though.
It's the best comedy show that's ever existed.
Why would I hate it?
It's not your thing.
Is it like D's nuts the whole time or something?
No, it's not quite that lowbrow, but it's pretty lowbrow. I mean, it's a Canadian it's a Canadian show about some.
He wasn't really lowbrow. He just put up images of Arnold Schwarzenegger all the time. He wasn't really lowbrow.
Who?
These nuts.
I'm talking about the joke itself. The defense joke itself is a little.
I'm talking about the man.
I thought you actually. I thought Cliff actually just D's nuts Mike. D's nuts Mike. Is that a sentence? There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Which would have been really funny. Hey, I would like to point out that we're down 2 members now. It's the 3rd episode. We lost Rick on the last one, and now we lost Andy and Rick on this one. Hopefully they'll be back again.
Andy had somewhat of an excuse, somewhat.
Yeah. Rick, we just haven't heard.
And he has baby. You know, he's the sole provider for a few days in his household, so he's got to make sure the kids are not, breaking each other's bones and burning the house down. That's okay. That's reasonable.
No, that
he's the sole provider for a couple days. Doesn't that mean he's working all day?
Then
if
he was here, we could ask. If he was here, we could ask him. But he's
he would probably.
His wife is out of town right now, and he's got 3 kids.
Is she out of town?
No, legitimately in Las Vegas, out of town. Not the air quotes out of town.
Right.
It's messed up. And then Rick, we just haven't heard from. We have no idea. We haven't heard from. He hasn't replied to any emails, right? In a couple weeks.
He sent me a message tonight. I said, "Hey man, you're gonna be on tonight?" He's like, "Oh, not home yet. Maybe I'll jump in later," which is code for I'm not coming on.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, there's a reason that the 3 of us are the hosts of this show. So, Mike is the host, and Cliff and I are the Baba Booey and whatever the other guy is.
Robin. Okay, which one's Robin?
The black lady.
No, I'm saying which one of you is Robin?
I am. That would be me.
Cliff is Robin and Josh is Baba Booey.
I'm a black lesbian.
All right. Speaking of the opposite of the black lesbian, let's talk about our guest tonight.
Hey, all right.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a terrible.
That was an
segue,
interesting way of segueing to the guest. Yes.
Right, especially a guest of this caliber when it comes to racial issues. I don't know. Maybe we'll get into that, but
maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't. We'll see. I'm really excited though. I haven't seen this guy in so many years. I know Cliff, you've seen him more recently, but it was still probably close to 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
when
we
you
rock and rolled for a while together. That's right.
Right, but how long ago was that?
Dude, that ended in 2000, early 2006. So almost 10 years ago. That's correct.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But there he is.
There he is. Yeah.
Oh, do we have him here twice?
He's here twice somehow. That's amazing.
My connection dropped. I connected back, so here I am.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do... Okay, so are you on under a different...
We never even announced him, though. We just, started talking about him. Who is this guy?
This is Simon Young, man. The famous Simon Young, brother of the AC/DC guys.
We totally look alike.
Simon Tam by his actual real name. We can do that as well. Welcome, Simon. How are you doing, bud?
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
Great having you.
For those who don't know Simon, he's currently in a band called The Slants, and how would you describe that band?
We call it Chinatown Dance Rock, as far as the kind of music that we do. We are an all-Asian American band. We do kind of like 80s synth pop, like maybe The Cure, New Order with modern rock and roll. So, yeah.
It's good. It's good.
It's good. And it seems like you guys are doing a lot of cool things, like playing conventions and so forth. Is that a big thing that you guys are doing right now?
Yeah, we do a ton of anime and comic conventions. We also get thrown around in kind of some weird or different venues. Like we did a tour for the troops playing overseas. We play in prisons sometimes, and then we do your standard rock and roll dive bars as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, really.
So it would be the most successful thing you've ever done.
Musically, probably. Yeah, yes. I guess you could say that.
You just got dissed, man.
What? Oh, I just got dissed? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh!
You just got the slant.
Yes.
All right. Anyway.
All right.
No, that's cool. I mean, a lot of people would probably wonder, like, well, okay, so how do we know Simon? Some people might know that story, some people might not, but gosh, I don't even remember how long ago it was. What tour were we even doing when Simon booked us the first time? It has to have been one of the first ones ever.
It was the first real tour of the United States that we did.
It was the tour with our. It was the first big tour I did with you guys, where with Darlington, really, with our previous guest. Simon booked a show.
Was that the first time we ever were in California? Was with Darlington?
Well, the first like tour we ever did, we only got to Colorado. We took that really crappy red van that we bought from the Dadavahu guys, and we made it all the way to Colorado and back.
No, that was the green van from the Dadavahu guys. That was with Mike Pierce, and he stomped on the top and dented in the top when we gave it back to them. The red van was the one that that we owned it. We bought it. We owned it. We paid like $1,200 to get it fixed, and then we were on tour, and Jen just got mad or something and like backed up real fast and slammed it into a pole. Remember that? And that's also the van that when we were coming down the mountain from the whatever the town is at it's Denver, and then you go over and you come in anyway. So when you're going up and down the mountain, we were coming down the mountain, we were going real fast, and that was that van. And
you are all over
scared.
the place right now, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm having all these memories.
Okay, so the bottom line is, regardless of what color the van or how many dents were in it, the first tour we did was to Colorado. That's as far as we got. And then when we did the West Coast, if it was a tour...
Mike, I'll clarify my point.
Yeah, you do it.
No, I'm just going to say, because the first time I met Simon was on that tour, but you guys very well could have used him to book a show previously. Maybe we could ask Simon when he met us. He would probably remember better than us.
That's probably the better idea. And Simon just joined again.
Sorry,
joining.
Just having some internet connection issues here.
When did we meet you, Simon? That's the bottom line. When did we meet you?
That was 1999, when you were on your Get Lost tour, and
CJ in the band.
Yeah, and somehow we connected. I think you were looking for a show in San Diego, and somehow someone told you that I put on shows, and we put together a show on. And that was, 99, so I was like just getting out of high school.
So you saw when CJ and Dave were playing, and we did the video for No Pool Party.
Yeah, you did
that
it
was the era.
The night before. Yep.
Wow. And is this the infamous Cliff getting up? I got upset because you gave us shrimp and I like freaked out that night.
Yeah, my parents made like a whole bunch of food and it brought all this Chinese food to the show. So, and I think it was back in the day when I was one of the people that would bring you guys IBC root beer because of the the Fun and Games photo shoot.
Right.
Thinking you guys all liked it or that was your favorite thing. So yeah, it's a good time.
Right on. The real reason we did that, of course, was because we thought it looked like beer, and we didn't want people to think we drank beer. Of course, now everybody except for me drinks beer, but that's irrelevant, really. But Mike's drinking beer right now.
There you go.
For Mike, it would say beer is the official.
The look of drinking beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was also a different time period back then, especially for Christian music, and the whole tooth and nail era, and everything was just taking off, and people were trying to figure out what was acceptable or not.
Yeah, so, the whole flying tart era.
For flying tart, yes.
Oh yeah. So then, so this was after High School Rock then. Yeah, I guess so. Because Brad wasn't in the band, it would have to have been. Oh yeah, Get Lost. Okay, we rolled tooth and nail. Yeah.
So it was Get Lost, and then you guys came back around again. And that second show that I put on for you was the tour kickoff with your Darlington split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the longest
tour. That's where I met you, because I was on the other tour. A much cooler way of saying that whole thing would have been like, I met you guys the day after you filmed the Get Lost video that you guys all were in, But anyway, like it was very cool on the tour that we did with Darlington. Because I remember Mike was like always getting calls from you, like you're cluing him in all along the way as to like you know, hey, we got your hotel booked, and hey, you know, I'm at the venue now, just clarifying things. Hey, I'm going to print out flyers and stuff, and like no promoter along that whole tour ever gave us a phone call as so much as like an email or anything, and you were like telling us everything all along every step of the way. And we were like, this guy's great.
Do you remember? You were the one that put on that show too, right? Where like you had all that awesome black background, like a huge amount of trash bags, all on the church wall or something to make it look like it was this cool black background or something. Was that the show you put on?
Yeah, that's when you came to Marietta.
Yeah, and Justin's band opened up, and the Nancy Drew that I named their band Nancy Drew, they played or something, right? Or something like that?
No, oh god, it was like Point of Recognition, I think, played, and a couple other groups. I don't remember their names right now, but
That's cool though. I know, man.
it was a good time.
Yeah, we were all, well, they were all kids. I was, no, I've never been a kid.
I was a little bit less of a kid by that particular tour, and then after you guys played in Marietta, and that was without Mike. That was, I think, Matt was singing. I drove up California with you guys all the way up to like Stockton, and then drove.
Oh yeah.
Then I drove all night back to LA so I could catch Dee Dee Ramone, and it ended up being his like last or second to last show that he ever did before he committed suicide or had that accidental overdose that they're, some people are trying to figure out.
That people still don't know. I mean, I didn't think it was suicide. Do you think it was suicide?
I think it was accidental, but
Well,
then
it
again,
would be if he how it works with these guys that have been doing drugs for a long time. They build up all that tolerance, and then it's no big deal. And then they go off drugs for a long time. They work at staying clean, and that's good. And then they give into that feeling of wanting to do it again. And then, of course, when they want to do it again, they think, well, this is what I always took, and their body had all that built-up immunity to it. That's what they had to do to get high. So then, when they take that, it just overloads them and kills them. That's how the actor guy died recently. Whatever that super good actor, Philip Seymour Hoffman, whatever his name is. That's how it happened to him, because he because I know so much about drugs.
It's funny because it's true. Just kidding, it's not true. Dude, but that's cool, and we've remained BFFs all this time.
Yep.
No, but I think the whole thing with Simon, going from kid who randomly you guys met and put on some shows, to kid that we're gonna call, he's gonna be our guy that we call every time we come to Southern California.
Yep.
And then I forgot about you came up to Stockton with us. That's basically like, I don't know, is that that's Northern California, right? So
yeah, that's Northern California.
Yeah, I mean, you basically went up the California coast with us, and then and just hung out and had a good time with us. And then years go by where I never see you again. You joined Cliff's band. I saw Cliff's band when they played with our band on the East Coast, but you weren't with them then, right?
No, I wasn't there yet.
Right.
We didn't have our act down yet. We got our act down when Simon joined the band. Then we got our act down.
I totally agree. From what I saw of you guys after Simon joined, it was more of this is a real rock band type of thing,
Right. We found our own sound, completely our own sound.
Yeah.
That was probably the only band I ever did that was truly and completely. Because the whole time I'm in the Huntingtons, I'm just Mr. Johnny Ramone, and then, that's what we did, which I love. I still love that we did that, and all that. And then even when we weren't being the Ramones, it was a certain sound, a specific thing, and a certain scene and all that. So then when with Stivs, by the time Simon joined and we got all that 5-piece going on, it had its own thing. It was pretty cool. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, it was cool. And then Simon's like, then there's like a big gap there where like I never even, hear from Simon or anything, and then all of a sudden he's like in the news.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know that guy. What's this guy doing on Huffington Post or whatever, and fighting the Supreme Court and all this stuff. So, I mean, that was what, probably a few years ago, Simon? Like, do you want to talk about that at all? Or is that okay to talk about?
Sure, it's okay to talk about. Yeah, I mean, it's because I was fighting the trademark office, and actually I still am. It's been going on for 6 years now, but a couple years ago, it really blew up since we were trying to get register the trademark for my band's name, and they wouldn't let me for a couple of different reasons. They basically thought that the name The Slants is offensive to Asian people, and in particular, they said that I shouldn't be able to use it because I'm Asian, so people will automatically think of a racial slur and not any other definition for the word slant. So it'll kind of cross in all these weird areas of like free speech, of denying somebody a right because of their race. And so we've been taking it up the court system, and right now we're actually one step below the Supreme Court. And if our case does win, then we actually change the law, which is pretty exciting and big and totally unexpected when I wanted to start like a rock band.
Now, is there like, moving forward with this, are you guys using any kind of like examples from the past or any other artists, bands, people in entertainment in general as sort of like a basis, or are you guys going in as like the very first ones to ever challenge this?
Well, we're definitely not the first to challenge the law, because the law is kind of targeted like minorities in general for a while, but nobody's ever gone this far in challenging it. Nobody's ever really technically won, so we might be that first case that can set precedent for the future. And we've certainly pointed out other examples of people who kind of reappropriate terms, both in the entertainment industry and people who do it for social justice and for other things too. So it's been, I mean, like the reality is my case file is a little bit over 5,000 pages. So there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of people we talk to and a lot of stuff out there. But we'll see what happens. We're actually going to get the decision probably any day now.
Really?
I hope you win, man.
Well, thank you. I hope so too.
Hey, Mike, you work for the government, right? Why don't you help the kid out?
If you only knew how that works, yeah. Or doesn't work.
Isn't that a song?
It is. Yeah.
All right. Way to go. Nice tie-in.
Yeah.
To your personal favorite album. Good job.
It's funny, I actually was driving last night, and I have this memory card in my car with songs, and If You Only Knew randomly came on that last night.
That's a great song. It's one of Mike's best, in my opinion.
That's not, Mike, that's not your, is that your favorite album, Mike? It's my favorite album, but I didn't think that was yours.
If I'm being asked at this very moment to pick one, yeah, I'd pick that one.
See? I know you.
Take that, Huntington's fans. You got two Huntingtons. It's the best one.
No. I don't say it's the best one.
I know.
For me, Get Lost is our best album.
And also, I guess I'm connected to Songs in the Key of You because I shot the photos in it.
You did the photos on the cover of Songs in the Key of You. That's a. How do we forget that? Come on.
Yeah, they were and it was actually in the church where I worked and lived, which you guys came down and played at. So yeah, small world.
I know.
You should look up those. It was like little girls, right? Walking.
Yeah.
It was two kids, yeah, a boy and a girl. They're actually the kids of a pastor that I worked with for many years.
I was like, what is it again? But I have this big poster hanging up here, and those. There you go, kids. It was that picture, those pictures right there that Simon did. Did that work?
Which I think would have been a better cover without them, without Tooth and Nail trying to rock it up by having fake tattoos on an arm to hold it up. If it would have just been the actual picture, it would have looked like something from Lookout Records. What?
No. What happened was it was Ryan Clark from Tooth and Nail who actually had a lot of tattoos, and they thought that it was too many tattoos, so they got rid of some. They removed
Really?
them.
Oh.
Yeah, actually they removed tattoos in the picture, which might make it look fake or whatever. But I remember seeing the original artwork, and he had like a heart tattoo on his thumb, and it's Ryan Clark's hand that's in the picture because he was our art director back then. But,
Yep, he was good. I just think the album cover would have looked better if it was just the picture and the band name in some simple script thing with the album name. It would have kind of come across like some lesser-known Tooth and Nail, Lookout Records bands. I think it would have probably looked like the Vindictives album that they did, the one and only real album of songs. You know that album? Vindictives album? It's like basically all their singles and stuff combined together on one album. What is that album?
Did you listen to Vindictives?
Me? Yeah.
Weren't we weren't we asked to do a Vindictives tribute and
Yes.
you turned it down because
that would have made no sense.
Yeah, it really wouldn't have made any sense.
No. Yeah. Anyway, I like Simon's version.
Yeah.
I'm looking up what album it is right now. I'll remember in just a second. No, not that.
Well, it's not. While you look at that.
Yeah, while you do that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say, Simon, you never met my wife, and I was trying to, she was like, who's this guy you're having on tonight? And I was like, well, I was explaining who you are and how I knew you and stuff, and I told her about the whole Supreme Court case, and she was like, oh, so how'd that work out? Did they win? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I should call Mike and see. We should probably do some research before we talk to him. But I'm glad you said that it's been going on for 6 years. I don't feel like such an idiot now, and I'm really glad you said that. Hopefully you'll find out like in the next couple of days. That's awesome.
Yeah, theoretically they could kick it back down, and then we'd have to start over. Or if they said they can't make a decision and we bring it up to the Supreme Court, that means I'll probably be in court for at least another 2 or 3 years. So. It's insane. Our legal system's just crazy that I have to spend so much time and money. But at the same time, because of this case, like our band's been in Time Magazine and Rolling Stone and Spin. I was in an HBO documentary, so there's it opened up a lot of doors too. So it's pros and cons to it, I guess.
Awesome. Did you guys have anything before I ask him another question?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I got another question, man. I don't know anything about this whole TEDx thing. All I know is I've seen it. I've seen things about it. I've seen things pop up on YouTube, and I'll be like, what's this? And I watch it, and it's like a very inspirational speech. And that's another thing. Like, all of a sudden, Simon Tam, Simon Young. You go by Simon Young or Simon Tam?
So when I do my other stuff, to Simon Tam.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You go by Simon Tam in the slants?
In the band, I go by Simon Young.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And you started that band 2 days after you left after you left the Stivs, right?
Pretty much. Like
you had been secretly plotting in the background. Then I left the band, and you said, "I'm leaving too."
I had been plotting for a while. I thought of the idea actually I got the idea in 2004. And I was just waiting on it, so, but, yeah. So I go by Simon Tam, and when I do the TEDx talks, they just use my real name.
When you said when I do that stuff, I was like, wait, which stuff? So, okay, when you do like the TEDx stuff, okay, so that's Simon Tam, and but again, it's one of those things. Here's this kid who I remember from way back, and now he's on the TEDx thing, 5,000, 4,000. 6,000 YouTube hits or whatever, and like I don't really know what the TEDx thing is because we don't really have it out here in Ocean City, Maryland. But but I did watch a couple of your speeches on race and stuff, and it was like you're a really good speaker, man. I work for Comcast, which is a $60 billion company, so we have a lot of big speakers come in and talk to us and motivate us and stuff, and you could totally be one of those guys who comes in to motivate me at work and stuff.
Well, if you ask your boss to bring me in, I'll come over.
It's all white people that I work with, so there's not a whole lot of racial issues. It's just we're all white people.
That's cool.
There's the racial issue right there, man. There it is.
Um,
White people.
I'm talking to 3 white dudes right now, so it's totally cool.
And millions of people are watching, so you know.
Well, I think Chris Eller will be on later, and he's Mexican or something.
Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
that dude's pretty white. He's pretty white.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Click on that link I just sent you. Wouldn't the album cover have looked better on that kind of thing?
Oh, you sent it in chat?
Yeah.
I remember the many moods of the Vindictives. I remember that.
Right. That kind of a cover. If that
Right.
picture that Simon took would have been taken just the simple picture with text and song titles and stuff, it would have had that kind of look to it. It would have been way better, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind how it came out. I thought it was okay.
Eh.
I like Simon's version.
I think I'm gonna create my own and re-release it.
Remaster it.
Yes.
All right, so Josh is apparently in a part of the world, Ocean City, Maryland, that does not, where TED Talks don't exist. Apparently that's what he just said.
As far
So,
as I know.
as far as he knows, there just no one in Ocean City has anything to talk about that would allow them to be in front of a banner that says TED. So, how did you get involved in that, Simon? Like, how did that whole thing happen?
Well, I used to watch a bunch of TED Talks, and I remember thinking, man, that would be really awesome. I would really like to do this one day and kind of talk about my band or something I'm really passionate about. So I went on the TED website and filled out like some information on being a speaker. But I also realized that there were these TEDx events, these kind of independently organized but licensed by TED events that were happening all around the world. And I looked it up, and at the time there were like 300 or 400 of them. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to email every single one of them. And so I did, all over and over again, telling them what my idea was, who I was, and that I would like to go and speak. And eventually, one of them, actually up in Seattle, wrote me back and said, hey, we would love to have you come speak at our event. And once I got that one, then a whole bunch of other ones started pouring in. So I did 3 last year. I'm probably going to do another 3 this year. And then next year I'm flying to England to do other ones. So
Do you get paid for it?
no, you don't get paid for it. They generally take care of like your travel and accommodation. So free trip to Europe. I mean, cool.
So it's kind of like being in a mid successful punk rock band.
Yeah, kind of. So, but it's cool because it opens up other things. So now I actually travel quite a bit. Lately I've been traveling more as a speaker than I have been traveling in my band. So I've been speaking at colleges, doing presentations for governments and other people. So
Like what kind of presentations? What kind of stuff do you talk about?
So a lot of times I'll talk about like diversity and race issues, but sometimes they'll have me talk about marketing and communications issues too. So just being on that like TED circuit, I guess you could say, has elevated kind of my credibility and resume as a speaker. And I would say about half the time I actually go and talk about my band and some of the stuff that we do.
So how do you make your living now?
I work for a nonprofit. I also teach at 3 colleges, and then I make some extra cash writing and publishing books and music. So I kind of have. I joke around that I have like 5 jobs, but really I kind of have 7. So.
7th heaven, right on.
That's awesome.
But it's great because I get to do stuff that I like doing, the stuff I'm passionate about, helping communities, and I get to integrate a lot of the music and artistic side of things into it as well. So it's definitely like I'm having a great time.
That's awesome.
Man.
Congratulations.
I know. Do you do something with the Huffington Post, or you just like you had something that was put in the Huffington Post?
Oh, so I write for the Huffington Post.
Right for that.
So
Okay.
I got a regular series that I write about like social media, digital communications, and stuff. Sometimes
Do
I
they
write
know about your conservative past? That would get you kind of outlawed from that site.
No, Huffington Post is actually pretty diverse. It skews left at a lot of times, but I just talk about broad issues. Like the last couple of articles I wrote were about like leadership lessons or business lessons that people should learn from musicians. Like why people should hire musicians because they're resourceful and they know if you're in a touring rock band, you know how to get things done and that kind of thing.
Read that, man. That was actually a really good article.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm not joking. I actually read it. And normally when I say that, I'm like totally lying, but.
Josh.
Well, thank you. Whether you actually read or watched these.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't say that if I wasn't telling the truth. I wouldn't go through that whole spiel if it wasn't. I actually read it. It was awesome. People should hire musicians.
That's true. Generally.
Well, let's see. We're all musicians and we all have jobs. I guess it's working.
Yeah. The only thing that whenever my boss has to introduce me to somebody that's higher than him that I don't know, the only thing he talks about is the fact that I was in a band and that I quit that job one time to tour and went off and did that and toured. He usually exaggerates a bit, makes it seem a little more like wonderful than it was. But
it was pretty wonderful. Except for when we played for 2 people,
which happened a lot, and so it wasn't always wonderful. Eating at Denny's at 4 in the morning every night wasn't really always wonderful, but
I was always jealous of Mike. I couldn't believe I would look over the next bench in the van and I see Mike on the computer with I don't know, a graphic for a tank and a bomb and stuff, and he's doing all these crazy computer things that look like just a big version of the Snake game to me, and that was way back in early 2000s when there was no Wi-Fi or anything, and there's barely any the laptops were so terrible and crappy. I don't know how you did it, but somehow you managed to do work and get paid while you're on tour.
Yeah. We went to I would log into whatever crappy dial-up internet we would have at the hotel, check my email, download whatever work sent me, and then work on it for the next couple of days. That was kind of a crazy time, actually.
Is that when that's when you had the conversion van, right? Jack was on tour with you guys full time?
No, he was doing that with the big white van, I remember.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking, how do I get a job doing that where I can go on tour and play on a computer like Mike does?
Yeah, I had quit. By the time we got that crazy, green conversion van, I had quit that job and said, you know what? We're going to do music, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah!
That was, that worked out well.
It would have worked out well. It would have worked out well if the band always played, Pensacola, Florida, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Anaheim, California.
I think it would have worked out.
That would have been great.
Reasonably well had we not played Dallas, Texas, and had all our crap stolen. That probably would have helped a little bit too.
Yeah. Or remember when Cliff quit the band and you guys were in that parking lot in Denny's or whatever? You want to talk about that?
Mike and Jen were getting very upset, and I was unusually calm. Yes.
Yeah, that was a time. That was a memory.
The great thing is we all lived past it. Everything's all right, and we're here today to say everything's cool.
All right. That being said, it's 9:45 on the dot.
Yes.
Mike, what do we do at 9:45?
We send the link out for people to join this amazingly awesome hangout. So, I'm going to trust you guys. Somebody has an echo. I'm hoping it's not me. But what I'm going to do is send the link out for people to come into the room. So anyone watching this right now who's interested, check the YouTube page, check the Facebook page, all that kind of jazz. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of duck out for a minute or two, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
So continue speaking, and I'll see you in a second.
Well, I'm expecting about now we're going to get mobbed with all the Slants fans They're all going to sit there. They're all going to be real shy and scared that they're on. They're going to feel like they're standing right there with Simon Young. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably not going to happen, but hey,
It's all good, man. No, this is really cool, though. This is, I mean, your life. Is your dad proud of you yet?
Yeah, he was actually. That happened a couple of years ago when he actually saw my band play for the first time, which he's never done in my entire life. But for years, especially when I was doing just the band full time, he was super worried and he was like, are you okay? Are you still playing? I'm like, yeah, I'm touring like 6 to 8 months out of the year. I'm just on the road a lot. And he's like, people pay money to see you? I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how it works. That's why I'm doing this for a job. And I would send him like DVDs or videos of like, hey, I just played for like 10,000 people last night, or hey, I'm on the front, I don't know, front page of the newspaper or whatever. And he just like, oh, maybe it's a little better than I thought. And so when he actually saw us, he had a really good time. It was fun, and he said that he was proud of us. So he's still worried about it. My parents kind of go back and forth. They're like, "Why do you keep doing music?" But they don't understand that. Like I feel like I got to do it to stay sane.
You feel like you have to do it to stay sane?
Well, it's like the creative outlet. Like I feel like it's such a big part of my identity. It just helps me. I don't know. Like there's nothing like no other feeling than when I'm playing a show or something like that. It's like the rest of the world just all the other stuff doesn't quite matter. It's just a really cool way to kind of like escape but feel that same kind of experience with a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Right on. Are you guys gonna make a third album?
We released a fourth release 2 years ago.
Thanks a lot for having me master it, man.
Well, you mastered our first three.
I know. But did Kevin Nedlingham get the gig? He's really good.
No, it was this guy named Adam Gonslaves. He was Telegraph Mastering, like down the street from my place.
Oh, that's good. You can actually go and be there. That's good.
Yeah, and he became really good friends with our singer at the time, and so everyone was like, yeah, let's just give this guy a shot. And
sure.
So it was ended up being cool. We were really happy with it.
Cliff is so pissed right now. You can see Oliver's face.
What?
He's like, oh, good, man. Oh, right down the street. That's convenient. Oh, that's good, man.
No, it is. No, I'm not upset. I'm serious. That's good to be able to. It's really good to be able to sit in on a mastering session. If you can do that, you learn a lot about music when you actually get to sit there and watch what's going on. You get to learn a lot about music in a way that you didn't even learn from being in a studio or from playing in the band or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, who would you say? Quick side note, Cliff. Who would you say taught you the most about mastering?
That would be the guy who mastered all of our Huntington's records, who I used to always go, Alan Douches. And then second after that would have been the wonderful Mr. Amazing, who produced the Stivs album, and that would be Mr. Simon Young. Who is that?
Jack and Dino.
That's right. And who was he famous for?
A lot of stuff. Nirvana,
Zeke, Soundgarden, Honey. I mean, just the fact that we got to work with him was just amazing, and it was a fun experience.
And that was when the Stivs was probably the most like the Murder City Devils in our time period, and so it was cool having the guy who worked on all the Murder City Devils albums there.
So, but I mean, it was just it was really, I mean, it was kind of like, had I gone in with the Huntingtons to record with Master Genie for the first time, but actually had experience under my belt and kind of knew something about the studio and the experience. Whereas when we went in with Master Genie, it was a big deal because it's like the queerest Screeching Weasel producer and all this, which was awesome. But like we were dumb kids who didn't know anything about anything. And of course we learned a huge, enormous amount from him. And that's where we learned to make records with Master Genie. It's where I learned that, oh, you're supposed to change the chord with the kick drum. Oh, you're supposed to feel that and hit it and lock in. And I didn't know any of that stuff. We didn't know any of that. That's all stuff we learned from working with him. And then, so then we were able to go back and make the records we did with Nick Rotundo that came out really good. Similar in everything like we had done with Master Genie. But as far as mastering, yeah, it would be Alan Douches and it would be Jack and Dino.
That's cool. I forgot about Jack. I mean, I went with you one time, or no, I went twice to do it with Alan at West Side,
Yep.
in Jersey, right? Jersey
Yep.
City. Yeah.
No, it was North Jersey. It was in a little small town, and he had that nice White House. He probably still has that, I would assume.
Yeah, I just remember that guy was so quick, and he just within 10 seconds, it went from sounding like this is how we heard it the whole time in the studio, which is okay, and then it's like boom, and it like blows you away, and then you see like all the stuff that he's done all over on the walls, like Black Sabbath and stuff. Like, okay,
Yep.
this guy knows what he's doing, but he did it so fast.
Yep.
So I think I went with you one time for Huntington's record, and then I went with you when we did Red and the Savages thing.
Right. Is the one time that you went with us, was probably, I'm guessing, mastering Rock and Roll Habits for the New Wave? Is that right?
Probably, yeah. Unless it was the songs in the Key of You.
Could have been.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Russ is back.
Hey, Russ. Sitting there like always. What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Cliff, I'm sorry about your dog. I saw that.
Yes, I am very sorry
Man,
about
I
that,
wasn't
too.
going to bring that up.
Hey.
Russ brings it up. What a jerk.
Hey.
No, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. We don't have to talk about that.
On a lighter note, Simon, if the Slants ever want to play North Dakota, Russ is the premier promoter
Yes.
of all use North Dakota.
Oh, very nice. That's actually one of the 4 states that we have not been to yet. So,
Go. Fargo.
You played more states than the Huntingtons? Good job, dude.
how many did the Huntingtons get?
We played 48.
Not 44. We didn't get up to 44. Like, we never played Maine.
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
so
did.
I've done 46, but
We
yeah.
never played Maine. We never played...
No, we've played every state except for Alaska, Hawaii, Maine. No, we've never played Maine.
Yes, we did. We played with
No. That was Connecticut,
another
dude.
kid another kid that was in a band with you, Cliff.
I know. That was not Maine. That was Connecticut. He even tried out to be the drummer for the Huntingtons, and I said no after like 2 seconds, and he cried. Remember that, Mike? was like, yeah,
I
you just
do.
don't have-
I
I'm
do
sorry. You
remember
can
that.
stop right now.
I don't think we've played Maine, but I will not rely on my memory for that because if it didn't happen this week, I don't really remember it. So just...
Maybe you should stop drinking. Hey, Brian
I'm
Hardy
pretty sure we
here.
played
Chris
Maine, but
Eller's
anyway.
here too.
Who else is here?
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Chris Rockville in the house, right?
Is that who that is? Yes, it is. I can't hear him, but it's him.
If you're speaking, Chris, we cannot hear you. You are muted. Now you're not muted, and
Your mic works really well. It's like you're in the Rockvilles or something.
what's going on, Brian?
Oh, now
Yeah,
he's
same old stuff, man. How are you guys doing?
We are good.
Brian,
I'm
good.
you missed us talking about wrestling earlier, man. You should have been here. Mike watched
That's
Six
cool.
Hours the other day.
I was actually going to say I was listening into the show the whole time, and I have to agree, Songs in the Key of You was by far the best album ever.
Well, I know what kind of guy you are.
Just saying, man.
Hey, it's okay. Different strokes for different folks, man. It's all good.
I mean, Rock and Roll Habits for the New Wave was a personal favorite of mine, too, but
That's a comp CD.
No, it's all brand new recording.
I know.
Plus, the most excellent cover of the Go-Go's is on that album. And it is just still, when I listen to that song, I'm like, man, this is good.
we got the beat.
Yep, very, 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 very good cover.
Yeah, man.
We got to
Chris,
get more people listening
Chris,
to
you
rock and roll
working at it or
radio.
what? Chris, try and say something, man. We see you down there. No? No sound? All right. Well, I see you're wearing the same shirt that you were wearing at the show on Sunday. That's cool.
He hasn't changed it yet.
Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. It's a Madball shirt. Never mind.
Who's Madball?
Another
Is that
band.
alcohol or something? I don't know.
No, they're... yeah.
Is that a band? Madball?
How was that Battle Rocket show?
It was great. Why would you? Don't you live out there? Why would you not go to it? I understand why Mike wouldn't go because he was watching. Oh, you like WrestleMania as well. Never mind.
Yeah. I was gonna say I was like I'm so there, and then WrestleMania happened at the same time, and I'm like I'm so home.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to Mike's house and watch it with him?
Because I had my son here. My son's into it just like his kids.
I'm not like up to date on the wrestling world, but were you wrestling in WrestleMania, Brian?
Not me. I'm what they call the squash guy.
Okay.
What's that mean? You're the guy who loses?
Basically mean, yeah, I get paid to lose.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have like big guns, big giant muscles and stuff?
No, I have little tiny arms all tatted up.
And you actually get in the ring?
Yeah.
With like just like underwear and be like wrestling? Arr.
Yeah. check me out. Check me out on YouTube.
Mike, have you gone to see Brian before?
I have not
Is
made
that
it out to
underwear?
see Brian wrestle yet. No, I have not.
You need to.
Dude.
Is that,
Simon is being attacked by vicious animals.
Yes.
Let my dogs out.
Simon, are you in Portland?
Yeah, Portland right now.
Same house that you bought when I lived there?
Yeah, same house.
Right on.
That I
Do you see any
originally.
of the old gang? Do you see any of the old gang?
I see Caleb every once in a while.
Isn't it crazy how skinny he is now?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's like you can't even recognize he's the same person. It's incredible.
I was walking up to Mago Day, and he said hi to me, and I was like, do I know this guy? And I was like, oh my goodness, it's Caleb.
Yep.
So totally a surprise. But every once in a while I'll see Josh Robertson or
Yeah.
I don't, what was his band name? Davey something?
Davey. His name's Dave Pearson. Davey Arson. You take out the P of his name and it's Arson. So Davey Pearson. Dave Pearson. Davey Arson.
Yes. So sometimes I see Josh, but no one else from the band.
You don't see any of the Deadlines guys or any of those guys? Brent or Sam with the long hair now or any of them guys?
I probably would not recognize them. I never really met them, I don't think. Or maybe I met them at a show, but I don't really know them, so.
That's cool. Not important. It's all good.
Hey, Chris, by the way, I heard you when you dropped something, so I think you're working now. No?
No.
It's not working.
It's all a trick. He keeps tricking you, man.
Whatever he did, man, he like smashed something. I think he's just not talking. He's just smiling.
Yeah, he's just lip syncing.
Chris, man, why are you being such a jerk and not talking? Brian Hardy's over here talking crap about you. He wants to wrestle you.
I don't want no beef with Mikey Rockville.
We lost him.
No, he's still there. But the people are saying like if Chris doesn't say something right now, like he's a jerk. He doesn't deserve our time. Go ahead, Chris. Defend yourself. Can't do it.
Is Chris the Rockville that always makes all the rude comments, or is that a different Rockville?
The what comments?
Just the general rude comments. Is that Chris? He'll know what I'm talking about if it's him. Is that Chris or is that a different Rockville? Josh, do you know? Yes, he says, yes, it's me. That's awesome. I think you got a little Cliff disease. You say a few rude things, you don't realize you're being rude, just like me. So I get that. Yeah, he says, yeah.
Yeah, can anybody hear me?
We can. Who are you?
Cool.
Colt.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the Ramones guy.
Cool, man. Who are you?
My name's Colt.
Awesome.
Yeah, I basically just clicked the link. I didn't know what it was. Yeah, I have no video. I don't have a webcam, but
Well, welcome
That's
aboard,
okay.
Colt.
yeah, it's just Colt. Just Colt.
Hey Colt, there's a guy named Russ in this room. If you're ever in North Dakota and you need a show host, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't know if Mikey, you remember, but a couple of years ago, I actually uploaded a video where I was playing Moms in Rehab, and I sent it to you on the Les Paul. I don't know if you remember. I think you commented on it or something, but yeah, that was me.
Cool.
So yeah.
You have
we
no
kind of-
memory of that, do you, Mike?
No, I remember that like it happened yesterday.
Nah. Okay.
What were the chords you played, Mike? What were the chords you played?
Wait, was it Mike or was it me? Because
I couldn't play Moms in Rehab right now if I tried, so I don't even know why you're asking me that question.
Are you drunk?
No, but I just don't remember things as well as I used to.
C, F, and G? That's that hard?
Is that the chord?
Yeah, really.
All right. See, Colt knows. He'll take care of it for me.
Hey, we got a drummer here now. Oh, there's Chris again.
Say
Is it
something.
working yet? Am I on?
Hey, we can hear you!
No, you can't. Are you
I
serious?
can hear you. Yes, we can. No, you can't. Yes, we can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can't tell if you're messing with me or not.
I can't tell if you're messing with me or not.
Okay, beautiful. Hi, Cliff. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Hey, Cliff, I just have to say before we start or whatever, I have to apologize first. I don't know what I did, but I fixed it apparently. I'm sorry for the Instagram feud. I love you. You know I love you. You're a huge influence. So I'm
It's
sorry
all good, man.
I'm sorry
I
for all
only
the. But like, I think your
I only
wife.
halfway know. I don't really know very much.
Yeah, but your wife got super bummed and she started talking a lot of crap, and like I emailed her. I emailed her on Facebook one night and I was like, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean it, like it was a total joke, like I love Cliff, and we never really hung out, I don't think, like once or twice, but I just had to tell her like I'm just a smartass, and so.
I know,
Yeah.
dude, it's just, you have the same disease that I have, and that is that you genuinely don't even realize that people don't get that you're joking, or you don't
Yeah.
realize that you're even being rude in the first place. Trust me,
Well,
everybody who's ever come within 5 feet of me knows that that's how I am, and it doesn't bother me at all. It's
Yeah,
totally fine.
The legendary Cliffy being a jerk stories are like, I mean, they're legendary around the punk rock scene. Like, I've heard, like, over the last, like, 20 years, like, I won't want to say 20 years, but, like, 10 years, it's just, like, all I hear at shows, I'm like, see me wearing a Huntington shirt, like, yeah, I love the Huntingtons, but that guy Cliffy's, whatever. Yeah, and I'm always sticking up for you, so,
You just don't know him, man. If you knew him, you would love him like I do. I mean,
like, I don't even know him, but he's cool with, like, people that I'm cool with, so it's all good, So,
We got a guest in the room right now who tried to offer him amazing food, and he told him to piss off. So it's like,
yeah, dude.
of course he's got a reputation.
Do you remember that time, like my worst moment I ever got? Mike, I don't even know if you were there, but this is like the worst it ever got for me, and this is the reality where you think you're joking and being funny, but you couldn't be more rude if you tried. We were at Cornerstone. That kid had one leg, came up to me with the fake leg, and I thought it was just some guy joking. He wanted me to sign his leg. It's a fake leg, prosthetic limb. He wanted me to sign it. And I was like, what? What is this? Get out of here. I'm like, that's what I said to him. And he just immediately froze. He took the lead and he hobbles away. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's real? And I'm like running after him, going, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, let me sign your leg. I never heard from him again.
No,
But
hey,
that's when I knew there was a problem.
No, I think the biggest problem was the Phil from the Teen Idols.
Oh, dude.
I think you should tell that story because that's like legendary Cliffy story.
Yeah, we went to go see him play live. They were playing with Squirt Gun in this little place in Pennsylvania. It was Pierce, Mike Holt. I don't think you were there. It was just me and Mike Pierce, and we were just like, we had made our first record. We're all excited. We're in a band, wow, and they played, and we just thought they were really good at the time. We hadn't heard any of their records or anything. We just saw them play, and we were like, wow, this is really good. And the guy didn't play downstrokes, and back then I was like, yeah, you're not punk rock if you're not playing downstrokes like Johnny Ramone. So I just go up there and we're complimenting them, and we're just honestly saying how great they are, and we love this. Can we tour with you? We'd love to tour with you, and we're being really genuine. And then Mike made a crack, and Mike Pierce always made me worse than I even ever was, because he had this really, really, really like severely sarcastic, cutting humor that I kind of adopted somewhat whenever I was around him. I kind of took it and ran with it too. And so he just said, yeah. And then I said something like, he said thanks or whatever. I said, and I mean, you guys would be really good if you played all downstrokes. And that, but I was only joking, and he got like super offended with it, but I didn't know. He just said, yeah, well, our songs are too fast for that. And I was it. And I said, well, you guys were really great, man. Seriously, we'd really love to tour with you. And that was it for me. I walked away. Mike and I walked away. We didn't know anything. And it was like years and years later, I found out he'd been going everywhere saying all this stuff about me. It was Phil. And, I mean, we're fine now. We got over it, and we're friendly enough on message boards now. And he's, but for whatever reason, I was this total jerk to him that said this totally cutting comment to him that he took to heart and felt a certain way about. And I just hadn't, I was clueless. Enough of that.
Now, Brian and Chris, I muted you guys because there was all kinds of like echo. So use your little microphone button and unmute yourselves when you're ready to talk. I'm trying to figure out who's echoing super bad, but
yeah,
But
crazy
anyway,
echoes happening.
So when I'm making fun of your super tight tailored jeans,
Yeah.
just remember what you said to Phil, and it's kind of just
Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all good. It didn't bother me, man. My wife's just protective.
I respect that.
So many people have talked crap about me in whatever threads because I'm uber conservative politics and I love Jesus and all this stuff. And so in the punk rock scene, that automatically makes people hate me, and they can't have a rational discussion about anything. So that's just the way it is. I'm very used to people going off, and I know you're not like that, but it just doesn't faze me. It's not a big deal at all.
Okay, well, face to face. I'm sorry.
All good, man. I promise.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's go over to the Q&A. I remember Cliff made the people in Element 101 cry because he told them they wore their guitars too high.
Chris, what? I did?
It's in the Q&A thing.
Where do I go to see the Q&A? Where do I go to see it? Here, Q&A. Let me see it.
You gotta click on the Q&A thing on the left-hand side.
I'm clicking on it.
Yeah. If you're in the YouTube thing right now, you can't see this.
Joe GHR, I remember Cliff May. Are you going to post a link? Tom G wants to join. D's nuts, that's funny. Joe, when are you going to come on here and actually show your face?
Show yourself, Joe. Come on, man.
Talk to me like that in person.
Yeah. Hey, anybody have any questions for Simon? Simon's awesome and famous. Cool.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, Simon, do me a favor. Because, I only know you as shy and reserved, and probably because I was always so big and loud and boisterous, and you just were like, whatever. But let me see some of that spirit, like when you get on a TED Talk and you're just driving it home. Let me see some of that right now.
Just on the spot.
On the spot. Anything you want to talk about, just boom.
No pressure, but just do it.
Right.
Just do it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm still pretty quiet and reserved, generally speaking. So somehow it worked out.
Well, people talk about people not aging a day. Right there in front of me. That's you.
I know. I still get carded for stuff. Like I was trying to buy a video game for my friend's kid the other day, and at Best Buy, and they carded me, and I was like, dude, I'm like 34. Well, you look like you're in high school. So it's like, okay, whatever.
You know what I always loved about Simon? You know what was the coolest thing about Simon was back in the day? His MySpace profile was always the coolest one. Like, I'm trying to remember what band were you in before the Stivs? When you played, what band was that?
Well, actually, before the Stivs, I didn't really have a band, like at least for MySpace.
Then after the
You had the Drexels, man. Don't lie.
Yeah, but it never really did anything. So it was.
So if you've got other people that say they're in a band with you, then you're in a band.
No, there was one band, and maybe it was the Slants. I'm sorry. How long have you guys been together?
8 years.
Okay, then it was the slants then. And I remember how cool your MySpace page was. It was always like the coolest one, and I was always jealous because my band's MySpace page sucked, and it was so basic, but yours was just always so rad. I loved it.
That's
Oh,
because
well,
he was into
thanks.
computers back then and knew how to manipulate photos.
Yeah, that's the marketing world, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So
So, all right, awkward silence there.
that's
Russ,
my
let's go to Russ. What's up, man? Got anything for Simon? Now's your chance.
I've not heard the Slants music before, so I'll be checking that out. So
It doesn't matter if you
eager
heard
to listen
them
to
or
that.
if you like them. You have to book them and put on the best show ever. You have to make sure you fire all of Fargo, all of those little fence posts along that snowy road where the money's buried. I want a flyer on all of those. That's all I know about Fargo. Sorry.
Simon, when are you coming to Baltimore?
To Baltimore, I don't know. Probably
Well, when's the next tour, I guess?
we'll probably be hitting the East Coast. Actually, we'll probably be going there this December. So we're gonna do a national tour like at the end of November, early December.
Who's
So-
singing for you guys now?
We got this new kid named Ken. So he
Is he
joined.
Asian too?
Yeah, he just joined last June, July. So it's but he's great attitude.
Your old singer was actually Mexican, right?
He was Vietnamese. He was
Oh,
actually born in Vietnam during the Vietnam War and was adopted.
dude, you should totally write a song called "Born in Vietnam,"
Well, he had a song called "Adopted," which is
or maybe "The Summer of Vietnam." Back in the summer of Vietnam, you know, something like that.
maybe if I had like a Asian version of Bryan Adams band, we could totally like redo all of Bryan Adams songs and make it
That
amazing.
would be awesome.
Hey, by the way, I bought tickets to see Bryan Adams in a couple months.
Wow.
Jealous?
The Ageless Wonder, man.
Josh, is that show sold out?
No, it's not sold out. It's not going to sell out. It's at the Delaware State Fair. There's like a
I'm kinda
billion
gonna-
tickets
I might have-
available.
I might have to come out for that.
You should, man. I bought them like second they went on sale, but they're going to be available at the gate as well.
I'm thinking about it. That'd be cool.
The Delaware State Fair is fun to go to. That's Harrington, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, Harrington Fair is freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's just fun just to walk around, and it's old-fashioned, old-time. Just feels good to walk around on those grounds and just be there. It's just really, 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 really wonderful.
You like it because it's a casino. I know you.
No. Just
You like to do
I
drugs.
grew up there.
No, Cliff.
Right. I just grew up. It's a place that I have really fond memories of. I grew up going there as a kid, and I want to take my kids there. And we tried to do that last year, but just I move trucks for a living, and it ended up being in the really, really busy season, and I wasn't allowed to take the time off, so I wasn't able to go and do that then. But hopefully this year.
I did text you when I was buying Bryan Adams tickets and say, hey, this
You
is
did.
like obviously something you would like to go to. You want to get tickets, and you didn't. No response.
Correct, because I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and if we went to Harrington Fair, we'd go as a family, and we would not go to see Bryan Adams as a family. My kids would freak out at a big, giant, loud rock and roll concert. They're too young, and for me, it's more important that I do what's best for my kids, and I've had plenty of my own life to do what I wanted for myself.
So not punk rock, but
Well, hey, dude,
You're not the kind of person that's gonna like get a text from Chris Rockville. Hey, you should come to this Teenage Bottle Rocket 3 hours away show tonight.
you were dumb enough to come.
Yep.
No, see, I'm the kind of guy that would put a tick on Dan Panic. That's the kind of guy I am.
You put a tick on Phil, not.
No, it was Dan Panic.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
Good for
when
you.
he was married, when he was straight and married. Right.
Cool. Hey,
Yeah.
the 2 new people just joined, right?
Oh, hey, who's here?
Who is it?
You look like my next girlfriend.
Colt's back.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to change the picture so I don't look like a total stalker here, but
Oh, there he is.
I was gonna leave it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So who is the "you look like my next girlfriend" picture?
It looks like it's James Rood,
Oh, and
Oh, he's gone.
who's
Oh well.
Probably one of Mike's Google Plus friends.
Guy's microphone sucks.
Joe Giannichero, Tom Bastian, Tom Giannichero, and I are all naked in bed right now, separate beds. So Joe is naked in bed with his brother. Wonderful. When I'm not naked in bed, I'm reading. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm reading the private things out loud.
That's gonna be great on like the YouTube feed later. Just you reading that. That'll be funny.
Yes.
Hey, Cole.
So,
Hey, man. So have we ever met, or is this our first time?
no,
meeting?
I'm just a fan.
Okay.
I think I asked you guys to come to Colorado, like on almost every post we make. So.
We would have done that back a while ago, but you know we're all too old to do that now.
Where
Yeah.
in Colorado are you, bud?
Well, I'm in Denver.
Yeah, we played there a lot. You never saw us play there?
No, I've only really like been into music, like punk music, for probably like 3 years.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
18, by the way. I'm almost 19.
That's cool. No, you would have been like, man, you would have been like a little kid back then. You would have been like 10. You would have been like, man, you might not have been born. Mike, what year was it when we were going to Colorado and stuff all the time? Remember that guy Lynn that would always have us? We played in the mall for him that time, and then he had a church that played, and then we played with Squad 5-0 and all that stuff. When was all that? Like 99 to maybe 2000?
2000, yeah. It's been 15 or 16 years ago, yeah.
So, yeah, he would have been like 2 years old. I don't think you would have been hanging out then.
Hey, it's funny you mentioned Squad 5-0. You know Jason Anderson?
Yep.
Yeah, he actually goes to my church.
He's a very good guy. I like him. He's very short. Has very
He
short
is very
arms.
short. Yeah. Yeah, he's a really good drummer too.
He
I
is. He's a very good
I
drummer.
was doing a rockabilly thing for a while, but yeah, he did a demo for me. He played the drums on it.
Right, that's
It's
awesome.
pretty cool. Yeah, I was shocked when he said he played.
You gotta mute that Simon guy with his crazy dog. I'm just joking, man.
He did mute him.
Yeah, he did.
Now he's doing his Simon all shucks smile right now. That's awesome.
It's just the Supreme Court sending the beasts in. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I was
that's
just
the
getting
thing.
some time.
You know, I want to see. Here's Simon. This is what I want to see. I want to see how you would be at the Supreme Court.
How would you know? What's funny is they wouldn't let me talk. It would
They
just
won't.
No, it'd just be my
Right.
lawyer
Oh.
talking and arguing and that kind of thing.
And you would just be sitting there.
Pretty much, I would sit there, watch.
You wouldn't like hold up your video camera and be like, "I'm in the Supreme Court right now," and post it to Facebook. Bam.
Yeah, maybe if they let me, but probably maybe after everything happened. So,
Right on.
but you know, it's all part of the weird stuff that I do.
I'm proud of you, man. I think that's all cool stuff.
Well, thank you.
Hey, you know what, Mike? You know what would be really great? We need to get Rope-a-Dope in here at some point. He'll take over. It'll be awesome. He'll take over much more than I do.
He's certainly welcome to join, just as the millions of people watching are welcome to join. I mean, it just, anyone can join.
But to clarify, we're allowed 10 people on here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8.
Right, that's the record.
There's 2. That is a record. Third show. This is the record. But we have 2 spots available. Like,
Yep.
None of our spouses are here. 2 of the regular people are not here either. Not surprisingly, but I don't know. Whatever. I guess this is Colt, Chris, Brian, and Russ. You guys are our best fans.
Are you guys send me free stuff? That'd be
This
cool.
one goes out to you.
You guys are our best fans. Slant only fans.
Well, let's see. Did any of you guys get the Prime Times tapes yet? Anybody? No. See, not fans.
Well, I've listened to them streaming. So.
Did you like
Oh,
it?
I downloaded that on iTunes. I got it.
You got it? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
I mean, it's like,
Mike's laughing. I told you.
If you weren't such a
No.
jerk, it would be better.
no, it's cool. I mean, it's definitely cool. I love all those old songs. Mike sounds so weak in it though. Like his voice is just. How
I
old
do.
were you? Like
We
13?
were kids. He was like 17 years old then, man.
That was
Yeah,
a position that I was sort of forced into. I didn't like want to do that. I didn't want to be the singer.
Correct. He
You
became
go.
the singer because I sucked so much and I kept forgetting the lyrics, and so he just started doing it. And then we had somebody that wouldn't forget the lyrics anymore.
And
And
that was not my natural desire to do that. It was sort of like, hey, if we want to keep being a band, you need to do this. It was like, oh,
Right.
okay.
And when that Mike Pierce's decision, wasn't he like, man, you should sing all the time? Because then you kept writing, the first song in our style that we ended up doing, you wrote Rock and Roll Girl, you brought it to practice, you sang it to show us what it would be like, we flipped out, I made us play it 5 times in a row, it was fun. Then we kept saying, we have to write all songs like this, and then we did.
And then we did.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But that was not my choice. I didn't want to do it. I sucked at it. You're right. I was terrible at that.
No, you were good. You were good. It just sounds funny, I guess.
What's
No, it
funny
was
is,
bad.
is
It
when
was
you can't.
I
What's
guess
funny
it sounds
is like
funny
it's
too.
almost hard to tell the difference between him and I back then. There's like
Yeah.
so it's just kind of funny in that way, but
Yeah.
Well, it was recorded
saying it
back.
sounds
It was recorded back before Colt was even born.
correct.
That's awesome. But now I've listened to it. I thought it was pretty cool. I like that version of Veronica way more, honestly. I think it's
Well, that version of Veronica is the same version that's on our Sweet 16 record. So, when somebody wrote about that on our Facebook page, and I remember thinking, wait, there's like no difference. I mean, it's played the same. It was like, yeah, I like the way it starts with the clean guitar, and I'm like, okay, he's obviously never heard Sweet 16 because that's how.
that was me.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah,
Okay,
that
so oh, awesome. I'm glad to meet you. So that means you've probably only heard the version from the much superior Rock and Roll Habits for the New Wave album.
Yeah, that's the album I have. I have that and Get Lost.
Yeah. Well, the Rock and Roll Habits for the New Wave, that's a good record. We went back and we were a professional band, recorded all those cool old songs back then. So, if that's your first experience, then when you hear Sweet 16, you'll be like, whoa. Yeah, that 1, 2, 3, 4 box set is all that old stuff too. It's
I've
the original
heard bits and pieces of like the actual early albums, but I can't really say I've listened to them all the way through just because I don't.
It's a lot of songs, I know. We wrote like 1 million songs back then, I know. So
File Under Ramones is the greatest, though.
it is. I really
It's
like it.
that's one of my favorite tribute albums. Like that and Rocket to Russia that the Queers did was really
Right.
good, and Screeching Weasel Beat Is on the Brat's really good. But I think the Huntington's File Under Ramones is #1 in my opinion. On like tribute albums, I think it's so perfect and
Well, that's
Mike
because
Johnson,
you like.
everything sounds so good.
There's two kinds of people that like that kind of thing. There's the kind of people that want you to put your own spin on it, and then there's the kind of people that want it to sound just like the original. I like that it sounds just like the original. A lot of people really hate the album because we didn't put our own spin on it, but we were trying to be them, so why would we put our own spin on it? We just, back then, we wanted to be them, and so we just got to be them for that album. It was very fun. Mike
Well, that's
sounded
why
great on it.
I like
His dad
to-
sings
I like
background
to-
vocals on it. It's awesome.
The Queers album is really good for that reason. Is that it does, it sounds like a Queers record.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm like you, Cliff. Like the Ramones are just a perfect band. So I want those songs to sound perfect. You know what I mean? Like I want them to sound that.
Right, and then people say, well, if I want to hear it exactly like the Ramones play it, I would go buy a Ramones album. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but this is songs from their whole career, all on one thing, where it sounds a lot like them, and it's all the same production values, and so it's, I don't know, I like the record a lot, too. I listen to it a lot.
I think you just have to take it for what it is, honestly.
So
Mike is
there's
all
a-
uncomfortable.
if you only have
Right,
those
talking
two
about
albums,
that.
get File Under Ramones.
Yeah.
There's a funny story about File Under Ramones when we toured with Mark in Europe. I don't know who was in the van. So when we first did the European tour with Mark, like he was kind of off. He kind of like did his own thing, and then by the time halfway through, we were riding in the van with him and stuff. But who rode in the van when we listened to File Under Ramones?
It was me and you and Jen. And
Okay.
I don't know if
So-
Josh Blackway was there or not, but it was definitely
I don't
me
think
and
he
Jen.
was. I think it was just us. And so it was Mark and his wife and Cliff and me and Jen. And so we put Fallen to Ramones on, and he's literally like sitting there drumming along to it, hitting all the crash cymbals, making sure that we played it just the way he would play it. So he's doing all this, and he's very happy, he's smiling, and it's probably like 8 or 9 songs in, and his wife says, "Wait a minute, this isn't the Ramones album." Like, she had no clue. Like, the wife of Mark Hewlett had no idea that it was not the Ramones record. He's sitting there drumming along with it, air drumming in the front seat, hitting every cymbal because Mike did an awesome job.
She thought that you guys were just like, "Hey, let's put on a Ramones record."
Yeah, she had no clue. Like, I think she wasn't. She's probably so like not paying attention to most things that are happening on tours, because if you're Mike Ramone's wife when you're on a tour, why on earth would you be paying attention to anything? You'd just be like spacing out, trying to figure out what to do with yourself all day long. But so we're driving along, and he's doing his air drumming thing, and she's like, "Wait a second, this isn't the Ramones." It was very, very.
And then
funny.
she said,
Very
"Well,
funny.
why would you do this? It sounds just like them. Why would you do this?" And then Mark was all like, "Wow, this is really good." You know, yeah, I know. And then that led to him wanting to have a band with you and Josh Blackway. And I was hurt because he didn't want
private
me.
conversations
He
in
didn't
the
want
kitchen.
me. I know. I was like, why wouldn't he want me? He said, because they're a jerk.
Oh yeah, remember that, Josh? We got offered fame and glory. We turned it down.
I remember it. I mean, I don't know that we turned it down as much as it just faded out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, he stopped calling you and leaving really funny, amazing voicemails on your answering machine that
I wish that
you never saved. They were so
I wish that would have happened.
I'm naked in my room now. I'm naked in my room right now.
No, that did not happen. But I wish those messages would have happened in an era when it was really super easy to record and keep them, because I totally would have. But yes, if Marky Ramone ever calls you, be prepared for a very long-winded, rambling message about anything and everything. He's quite the character.
Awesome.
And to be fair, I don't think it was fame and fortune, since all of his ex-bandmates are kind of out there floating around. And
No, I'm completely kidding. I remember, I don't even remember where we were in Europe, but it was a Josh, I don't know if you remember this, but it felt like we were in a kitchen. Like we were in some bar or something, and we were back in the back, and we were in a kitchen. He was like, "You should come to South America. We'll play in front of 10,000 people." And it was like, okay, all right, yeah. But no, I'm just kidding about the fame, unfortunately.
Hey, it might have been.
Marky's still plays
it
in front of
wasn't.
huge crowds in South America, though.
They're
Oh,
huge
yeah.
in South America, and that was his whole thing. He was like, you won't be eating McDonald's in South America. It's all, but if you want McDonald's, you can get McDonald's. You can get whatever you want. They lost in South America. But I remember he was just he did kind of tell us, like, I want you and I want Mike, and if I have to pay the other guys to stay home, I will. But we'll call it.
He
Mark.
did say that. He did say that.
But he just
He said, we'll call it Marky Ramone and the Huntingtons?
yeah. Basically, what he's doing with Andrew WK right now, kind of only. I would think Ramones-wise, we would have sounded way better. We would have sounded like the Ramones if we did that. Andrew WK doesn't sound at all like Joey Ramone, but I love Andrew WK, and I still haven't seen that show. I think he's playing in Baltimore soon, right, Chris?
I got tickets.
You got tickets? All right, Brian. Yeah, I want to go to that.
Have you seen the videos of that of WK and Marky on YouTube? It's really
I've
good.
seen him on YouTube. It's not that good, but I still want to go.
I think it's cool.
I also have tickets for CJ Ramone and Shonen Knife at the Metro Gallery in June.
I mean, I missed Shonen Knife last time they came here. I was pissed. Couldn't get a ride down there.
well, I might be touring with Shonen Knife next year.
Hey,
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
So
Might be touring with who?
Shonen Knife, it's a Japanese.
Dude, yeah, I know who they are. Congratulations. That's the big time, dude.
Hey,
Or
Brian.
maybe it's their downward slide.
Well, we do all their Northwest shows, and they're really fun. So I pitched it to them, and they were like, "Oh, we would take you out on this tour, but we already got the band." But
we already got some guy CJ Ramone or something.
but next year. So
What night of the week is that Marky Ramone Andrew WK show?
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday, yeah. And you know why? Because I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping that Kelly, I don't know. I told her I wanted that because it's like right after my birthday. I was like, she get me this for my birthday. And usually if I say anything like that, she gets whatever for me. She remembers it like you know, like a elephant or whatever. You know. But
Is your wife an elephant?
Yeah,
No,
you call
know.
Kelly.
You know what I mean? Don't they have good memories and stuff? Yeah.
Texting her, right?
Anyway, but after this past Sunday, I'm not sure that I want to do any more Sunday shows unless I make sure I have off the next day.
Yeah,
You know.
I back you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in for that Monday off tomorrow. So, I think you should do the same. You could sleep at my house again.
Okay. As long as we find your car afterwards.
Well, I know that area a lot better. That's easy. That's easy.
Chris, are you a drummer or are you a guitarist?
No, I play drums. I can't play guitar. I'm no good. I don't have the hand-eye coordination. I can play thick air guitar, all downstroked air guitar, but.
Well, you know, you don't have to be good at guitar to be able to play guitar. I'm living proof.
No, you were a great guitar player.
Were.
No, you. Well, I mean, didn't you sell all your gear?
Yeah, I play acoustic now.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually better now.
Well, you're a great acoustic guitarist.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Josh can tell you all about it.
That makes up for all that trash I talked about.
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah.
He's good, man. Just send Chris some of the demos that I sent you so far, and he'll hear all my guitar, and he'll think it's you, and all the glory.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, mix the rest of those demos and get them to me so I can send them to the producer.
I will. Do you need to send them all at once? Sorry.
I need to send them all at once because it needs to be. He gets all 15 songs, and then I'm gonna post the 77 song, because obviously that was just for fun. But yeah, I need to send them all to him. So.
I got 9 more songs to go.
No, 10. You only sent me 5 so far. We recorded 15 songs.
Okay. Up next, though, just so you know, is for you kids out there. It's called All Just Disguises, and in parentheses I wrote Metallica. It is a Metallica song. Cliff denies it, but you know, I'm like, dude, this is a Metallica song. And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And all day, it's like all I can hear is Metallica. But he's basically ripping off Metallica on
it. Great acoustic singer-songwriter stuff, man. Awesome.
It's a Metallica song, man. I'll prove it to the world someday. But we'll do it the way you want to do it for now, and then we'll let other people.
You'll add your little parts to it, and it'll just all come together, man. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But seriously, your harmonica playing has been amazingly, just so perfect.
He's
so
super good at blowing things.
Oh.
You know, I knew that was going to happen when I heard that.
We had quite a bit to drink on Sunday night.
Shut up.
Hey! Is that Tom? Tom Giachero, Guitar Wonder of the World. What's up, dude?
Hold on.
Oh no, that's Rick. Rick is back. Hey, Rick.
Oh, that's great. Can we just make that the? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Is he having Chris Rockville problems where he just is there but not like you can't hear him?
What a loser. Oh.
Dude, he must play his guitar like really up high.
Wasting everybody's time, wasting a space.
Yeah,
Hey Cliff, if you release this...
Oh wait! Wrestling sucks.
Oh wait! Is he there?
What?
He was there for like 5 seconds. It looks like he's
I'm right
spinning
here.
around in circles.
Are you on a ride? Are you in like an amusement park? What are you doing?
Yeah, it totally looks like he's on like he's on a merry-go-round going around in circles. That's awesome. Can we just make that just big, nothing but that? His head. Oh, dude, there he is.
I'm on the scrambler.
You look like you're on the Scrambler.
Yeah. What's up, losers?
Hey!
I
For
just
those
figured.
who don't know,
I just figured this out.
Welcome aboard. Now you need to get your brother on so we can have the full room.
Yeah, well, my brother, he's probably busy like burping a baby right now.
Is he? Oh, burping a baby. I thought he said birthing a baby.
No, burping.
Oh, yes.
Listen, just because you're skinny and we're fat doesn't mean we're birthing babies.
Mike, what were you going to ask me if I released this what?
I was going to say, if you release this acoustic record and you happen to go on tour and you're in the North Dakota area, Russ can book a show for you. Because he is the North Dakota promoter king.
Man, I got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I can't even play a gig down the street, let alone in North Dakota.
Nah, you can do
I
it.
don't get out of my room. I don't go out of my room.
I'm calling bull crap right now, Cliff. I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1-year-old, and I play 4 days a week.
And Jerry Springer's still trying to contact you.
That's right.
Wow. You play shows?
Yeah.
4 days a week. Do you get paid for them or something? Because like my normal job is like 60 to 70 hours a week. I don't have I barely get to see my kids as it is. I at least want to be able to be there for them when they cry in the middle of the night and have to run down and rescue them.
I never get to see my kids. My wife, deals with a lot of crap, but I make more money in 2 days of strumming a guitar than I do in 31 days at my real job.
How do you make so much money with strumming the guitar? Because the Huntingtons never knew how to do that. You played covers?
Cover shows, man. Yeah.
Oh.
I know, it's a big for the punk rock scene.
No, that's okay. It's amazing how much money that there is in that. Josh will tell you all about that. All of the crazy guys down in Salisbury making like.
Yeah, man. If you want a show in Ocean City or Salisbury or whatever, come on out. I'll book you, but I'm not going to go to it.
Starting a cover band? Listen, in all honesty, Chris actually can testify to this. He was at a show of mine 2 weeks ago, and within like the first 5 minutes, he walked up to me. He goes, "I want to hear a Huntington song tonight, otherwise I'm not staying." And I'm like, "All right, dude, cool." So
is it just you and your acoustic guitar?
Me and my acoustic guitar, man, a Gibson Hummingbird Pro, and
nice guitar.
And yeah, and I played "Really Really" as my first song the other night.
And did people love it? People had no. They thought it was an original. Because how would they know it?
They were digging it, you know.
Did you write that song, man? That's great. I like how you say. I like it really, 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 really. I like how you say "really" twice.
That's right.
That is a good song.
We lost Tom, man. That was fun having Tom.
He was like Big Head Josh right there for a second, man.
I guess the Scrambler ride ended and he had to get off or something. I don't know. That dude was like twirling like a ballerina.
Hey, we better bring our special guest in here for a little bit more because we got like 7 more minutes till this show's over.
Well, we're 8 minutes of overtime right now, so we do need to kind of wrap. Oh, he's back! He's back.
Hey, the head
on the tilt-a-whirl.
People thought I had a big head, man. All right, who's the winner? Who's
Mike,
the winner?
We're 8 minutes into or 9 minutes into overtime. What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It's just the fact that we
can go as long as we want, but we don't want this to go too long because then
go 8 hours. Hangouts can last for 8 hours, so we're good.
Let's hang out for 8 hours.
I gotta go watch The Bloodline with Christy. So
The Bloodline.
I've done The Bloodline. It's a good show, man. Watch it. It's
you
good.
need to go back and watch season 1 of Trailer Park Boys and then talk.
Hey, Mike, how do you like? Mike.
Look at him just laughing. That's awesome.
Mikey.
What's up?
How do you like season 9 so far?
I am 5 episodes into season 9. It is definitely better than 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging it a lot.
Like the last five seasons, I think.
What's that?
I think it's better than like the last 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, J-Rock's back to being funny again, man. That dude lost his flavor there for a while, but he's back in it. Well, what I'm saying? Right. See, Cliff has no idea what we're talking about at all.
No, I feel like such an outsider right now. I feel like an outsider. I'm always one of the insiders. just because of how loud I am. But now I feel like an outsider.
Hey, but back to our guest real quick, Simon.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, man. As we
Sure,
wind down
thanks.
the last 5 minutes here, do you have anything that you would like to give a little plug for? Like a new book coming out or a guest appearance on Maury Povich or anything? I don't know.
Is there a courtroom that we can come see you in soon?
That's awesome.
Well, I guess it seems like a lot of guys in here are musicians. I got a book called Music Business Hacks, which is about like how to survive as an independent musician. So if you're interested in that, get it on Amazon.
Cool.
How to survive as a music what?
Basically, how to survive as a musician, how to be like a music entrepreneur. So,
I could have learned something. We could have learned something. We could have used that 15 years ago, man. But we can't use that anymore.
Yeah, you're a little late.
well,
I'm retired, man. I'm retired. Way to write the book that I need when I get retired. Thanks a lot.
a lot of those lessons in the book were from when we were on the road together. So.
Oh, because we made so much money.
Well, it was a lot
Maybe
of
what not to do.
Yes, a lot of what not to do. So.
Yeah.
What's it called again, Simon?
It's called Music Business Hacks.
Wait, did the Stivs ever tour when you were in the band?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, we went down to the West Coast, and then the transmission blew on the van.
Oh, that's when we had Mickey in the band. Crazy
Yeah.
Mickey, dude. Yeah, when we, it's like he was a fantastic drummer, but the band was never the same when Micah left.
No,
Micah just had a something special with his playing that really brought this certain something to. It just really gave it its own. It was all. He was awesome.
I think it was more than his playing. He just had such a warm personality. Like he was just such a cool, sincere, like down to earth guy that it made it really fun to be around. I mean, I remember like when he first showed up and he like dyed his goatee red.
Yeah, because he tried to be all punk rock, and it was like, wasn't it like his hair was red and his goatee was green, and we were like, dude, what are you doing?
Something like
I
that.
know.
But, it's okay, but it was a good time.
Yeah. Well, he was used to being in cover bands. You do that wacky, and he was in that different scene. He was into like the, Insane Clown Posse, weird metal bands, and all that crap. He was into all that kind of stuff, but his playing just brought so much awesomeness to the band. I'm super glad he was in the band.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, he helped us make the record, so it's good.
Yep.
I'll tell you where you lost your chance at stardom, Cliff, was you had Adam from the Copyrights in your band. That was the Reaction, or was that the Stivs?
It was the Reaction. Then we already broke up before the record came out, and so I just changed the name of the band because I had the thought of the name band while we were still called the Reaction, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have thought of that at the time. So then, before the record even came out, it had a sticker on it that said now known as the Stivs. Blah blah blah, something like that.
You should have just had him stay in the band and called the band the Copyrights, and then you would have been good, man. You
International stardom.
With see you on tour with Teenage Bottle Rocket this next.
I missed it by that much.
Yep.
Just missed it by that much.
I could have made up for Marky not inviting you to play in his band.
Well,
Hey, so far on this episode, there's been a few things that we do not discuss. One is Cliff not being invited to play with Marky. And then all the things that you brought up, Chris, that people don't like Cliff. And then
Wait, people don't like Cliff?
The fact that his poor dog, man, like...
How about you not talk about that again? You can talk about the other stuff.
I feel so bad for you tonight, man.
I'm hanging in there, man.
Just for
There
that.
are people that don't like Cliff?
Not very many. Well, people don't like me at first, and then like 5 minutes into it, they're like, dude, this guy's awesome.
Everyone
okay.
loves the Huntingtons. Everyone hates Cliff. I hate Josh, though.
All the former Huntingtons, they do hate me. That's true. Why? But why is that? Because I was the guy that said, you agreed to do this, so do it. Don't give me crap about it. Do what you agreed to do. I've never been like that in any other band I've ever been in, but the Huntingtons was, it was a set thing, and it was like, remember we made people like signing contract practically. I mean, all these big long questionnaires about, are you willing to do this? Are you willing to adhere to the dress code? Are you willing to shave? Blah blah blah, all the different stuff, And then they get in the band, and then like 6 months later, 6 months into it, they're like, they start wanting it to be their thing or this other thing or whatever, and we're like, this is established. This is the way it is. This is a very specific thing, and to change it from that, I wasn't okay with that, and so that's why it was always like problems.
Mike, when is Bubbles gonna be our guest?
That would be
Bubbles?
amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, Bubbles. Exactly. Yeah, he's on the show that you don't watch.
Oh. Well, that'll be cool. But Simon, was I like that in the Stivs?
Sometimes.
When? Listen to this guy. I never told anybody what to wear, what to play, how to be. We just had fun. I mean, you know, I
Their
insisted.
scarves, right?
What?
As long as they had their scarves and their collared shirts.
No, that wasn't my idea. That's just stuff that grew over time. That's just stuff that grew over time. It wasn't like that in the beginning.
Hey, I mean, I like the Huntington's style, so I had no problem wearing the dress code or whatever. I'm like, all right, jeans and T-shirt, I can do that, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I know you got pretty pissed when, like, you know, if somebody was smoking or whatever, you know.
Or if you tried to wear a white T-shirt instead of black, I was like, what are you doing, man? You're like, no, it's blue. It's dark blue. It's okay. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not black.
I
Yeah,
always
you
hated when
wore a
guys
dark
wore
blue shirt
sports.
one time. I remember that. I'm like, it's dark blue. It's still blue. You can't wear dark blue and black. Were you crazy?
Yeah.
Hey, we had a thing for a while.
I'm down with the all black T-shirt, black jeans thing. That was fun. I did that I remember that for a little while, and that was fun. When this guy Tom joined the band, well after Eucliffe, that's when the style was not quite as important.
It was all over
No,
the place at that
that's
point.
when a fat guy. Cliff would never let a fat guy in the band.
Hey, I would be in a band with Steve Sorrow any day of the week, man.
Steve was in the band for like one show.
I know, that was awesome. The pictures were great, and he's like, I still don't even know how to play. I still don't know the names of my chords, and he's like playing
Wow,
through
he's
the songs.
even
amazing.
busting on the lisp.
We called him Chubby Huntington too. That was funny. Not you. We called Steve.
And then Rick got upset because he thought you were talking about him.
No, we were talking about Steve. Steve brought it on himself. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm Chubby Huntington." We're like, "That's great. We'll use it." Tom, you're a really good guitar player, man.
Yes, you are.
I haven't touched a guitar in probably 8 months.
You got kids or something?
I have a kid. I have a job. I have a wife. It just happens.
It does. Real life. I know. We can't all be Simon Young.
That's all right.
Cool. Well, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go watch this show with my wife. Enjoy it. Have a great time. Talk crap about me if you want. I'll watch later, or probably won't. But either way.
I think we're probably getting ready to wrap it up here. I'm gonna stop the live broadcast, and everyone's welcome to stay put, because if you've never been in a Google Hangout before, as soon as I hit the stop button, we all stay in the room and we can keep talking. It just doesn't go to YouTube.
So we can talk about Cliff when
You can. You
As soon as you just leave the room, it's fair game. We can.
You can talk about me and live. You can talk about me live.
But
Dude.
you won't see it, right?
I won't really watch it. I can't get past like watching these for like 5 minutes. It's hard. It's all like it's a big cacophony of back and forth and crazy.
Cliff, are the 3 monitors behind you? Is that to make us feel like you're like a rich man, or what is that?
Oh no, that's my job.
Oh, okay.
I have the same work setup at home that I had when I worked at the office in Texas. So I broker trucks for a living. So I'm like, this is just a guide. That's not a real screen. That's just the actual computer. The 2 big long screens, I just there's big programs on both of them. I see them and I'm looking at them. I get about 1,000 emails a day, and I'm on the phone constantly, and it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I get about 500, but they're all for penis enlargement drugs.
Yeah, no. This is actual.
So you only answer 300 of them, right?
We need a truck. Can you get it? I'm sorry that.
All right, guys.
I'm sorry that you need those drugs. Hey, I'll talk to you later, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign us off. If everybody wants to stay put, we'll talk a little more after we go offline. But there's probably about 1.5 million people watching right now. So thank you very much to the YouTubers that are watching. Thanks, Simon, for coming on.
Hey, Simon,
thank
did you ever see this yet? Simon, did you see this yet?
I saw it on Facebook.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
She's very beautiful. All right, I gotta go. See you guys. I'm sorry,
All
Mike.
right.
I'm sorry to interrupt your awesome exit speech.
Yes, you did. I'm gonna start all over now. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
All right, Brian Hardy, Chris. I'm gonna mess up these. I'm gonna mess up everybody's names here. Everybody, thank you. Thanks for coming. Simon, thank you. I'm gonna hit the
Thank
stop
you.
broadcast button. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks. See ya.